What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Justin Saunders here, and in this video I'm going to share with you how to create an Instagram ad from start to finish. And by the time you're finished with this video, you're going to be an expert in running Instagram ads yourself. So stick until the end, and I'm actually going to show you how you can go out and already find ads that are performing so you can model off of them and rather take out the guesswork. Instead of testing a bunch of money, you can find stuff that's already working. So as you can see on my screen here, we are on Facebook for Business, and this is actually Instagram. So if you wanted to come in here and get a little bit more information and stay up to date, you can go through here and kind of scroll around. I'm not going to go too much into detail for this specific video, but just know like Instagram and Facebook actually offer courses where you can get a little bit more literate in this subject. So feel free to check this out. For the sake of this video, I'm just going to kind of jump into it and just jump into the first step, which is actually creating the ad. So one of the things that I like to do when creating the ad is actually making my ad in a site called Canva. As you can see, I'm just going to pull up over here, which is actually where I create all of my ads. And if I have to redesign them or send them to my graphic designer, I do that, but I create everything here first. And what I really like about it is you can come up here to create a design, which by the way, Canva is completely free. If you want to go for the paid version, you can. It's like $5 or $10 a month. I personally have it because it's better for branding, but you can come in here and you can type in Instagram and you'll actually get the right dimensions for whatever you're doing on here, right? So for example, if you wanted to run an ad for an Instagram story, you'd want to use this one right here, and you'll see how it automatically populates over here like this story type. And what I really like about this is you can come in here and like if you look on the left over here, you'll see a bunch of like templates that you can already use. Again, this video is not really too much to actually showing you how to design it. If you'd like more info on that, just comment down below and I'd be happy to create another video. I've actually been running Instagram ads for a little over 5 years now, but just know like this is how I stay up to date with dimensions, is coming in here. So if you want to do the story, you could do that there. If you wanted to do just an Instagram post, like an Instagram ad, you could do this one as well. This would actually also work on the story. Just keep that in mind when you're doing this. If you want one that works on the actual Instagram ad itself, because when you're running the ad, and this will make sense in a second, is you actually have the story ads and then you have the newsfeed ads. This one right here, the newsfeed, will work for both. The story will only work for the story. So just keep that in mind when you're going through here. Now, the next thing is you need to determine what the objective of this ad is. For example, are you wanting your prospects to direct message you? If that's the case, then you're going to want to have them say like one keyword, maybe like agency ad, something like that. And you'd want to put that actually in your copy. So if you wanted to, you could even, this is just for simplicity's sake, right? Like you could, what I'm saying is if you're wanting them to actually message you a word, you'd want to put that in your ad. And again, I'm not going to go into too much detail on actually creating the ad here, but just know like you need to know what your actual objective of the ad is. So if you are going to go that way, you'd want to put like the words in there, like message me this. If you wanted to collect just leads, then you'd want to have like a sales funnel or a landing page. One of the things I like to use is a software called Go High Level, which this is one of the leads that, one of the landing pages I use, which if you wanted to go download this ebook, I'll leave a link down below. But this is an example of a landing page, right? You put in your information, and then it'll take you to another page and you collect their information. And then that's how you collect a lead, right? And I use a software called High Level. Not going to go into too much detail on that, but simplicity's sake, just know what you want your leads to do. And that'll kind of actually go into what we're going to be talking about next, which is setting up the ad. And there's really two ways of doing this, depending on your experience level. If you already have a business manager and everything set up, then you could just go to business.facebook. If you're a little bit more new to running and setting up ads, what you would do is you would actually go to your Facebook profile, and then right here, you'd click this and you'd hit ad. Create an ad, and it'll show up a screen that'll look just like the one that's right here. And it might ask you to actually like plug in your information, but just know, like, if you're just getting started, the best way to create an Instagram ad is actually on Facebook, because you can get a lot more targeted and you can optimize for better results. And I'll walk you through actually how to set that up. So when you're here, the first thing you're going to want to do is actually come over here and hit create. It's the green little button right here. And again, depending on what your objective is for running this ad, that's what's going to determine what you're going to want to do here. And the ones I like to use is conversions, and I'll explain this in a second. Conversions, traffic, lead generation, or messages. These are really the three that I like to optimize for. Sometimes video views, but the reason being is if you want to use conversions, that would be when you're sending it to a landing page like I showed you earlier, where it's a landing page where you can collect information and get leads. A lot of times it's really good if you're running ads for clients. Another good one is traffic. If you want to just send a traffic to a page, that's another option you can do. I typically don't really do traffic. The ones I usually use the most are conversions, lead generation, and messages. And if you want to learn a little bit more about lead generation or conversions, I'll leave a link down below where I actually have a video like setting it up, walking you through how all that looks. And after I set up this one, I'll come back and kind of show you how that looks. So let's just say, for example, you wanted to run ads on Instagram to get people to message you. You'd click messages. And then you click continue. And what's going to happen is it's going to look like this. So the first thing is you want to name your campaign, IG demo message. I always suggest putting the date in here. This is just a demo, so I'm not going to go too much in detail. Special ads category, you don't need to do anything there. Campaign budget optimization. This is basically how much money you want to put into the campaign. So whatever it is that you want to put in here, if you want to put $50, this is whatever it's going to be spending daily, right? So whatever your daily budget is, put that in there, right? And then you'll click next. And then from there, the ad set name. Again, you want to get familiar with getting organized. So I'll explain how all this looks in a second, but think about these as folders. Like, this is your main folder. This is underneath the ad set that we're creating right now. And then your ad is underneath the ad set. So we'll just call this ad set number 1. And usually this is like interest-based targeting. So you would put your interest in here. So for example, if you wanted to target Jake Paul, which I don't even think he's on here, but it'll make sense in a second. Like, let me just clean that up and make so it'll make more sense for you. Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone, if you don't know who he is, Google him. Really popular sales guy, entrepreneur. But point being is, you want to come in here, and that's whatever you're going to click for the targeting will make sense here in a second. But ad type, click to message, that's what you want. I would, if you want to do Instagram direct messages right here, then you'd want to click that. You want to make sure that you are, if you don't have a Facebook page yet, go create a Facebook page and then add it right here so you can run ads from it. And then you can connect your Instagram account right here. So you just go through here, and then your Instagram account should be populated to your page. Mine is actually, find it. I'm not going to spend too much time looking for it, but like, just imagine that my Instagram page is connected. It's right there. And then from this, what you're going to do next is actually come down here and use your audience. So this is where you can really break it down depending on where you want to target. So if you wanted to target some different locations, you could do United States, you could do Canada, whatever you want to do there. One thing I always like to do is come in here and hit exclude. You don't have to do this, but with my target audience, we have a lot of people from like Iran and Pakistan that try to sneak in. And we try to, because we can't do business with them, so we usually try to exclude them. Whoops. So see how like there's a big red dot right there? Like that's how you exclude. You don't really have to exclude. I like to do that. Age, you can really break it down. Let's say, for example, you want to go after 25 plus, 25 to 43-year-olds. Again, I'm just spitballing some numbers here to show you, but you'll see as you do this, you can go through and again, you can clean up everything. You can do men or women if you wanted. Maybe I just want to target women. Go there. And then detailed targeting. This is really where the magic happens. So remember I showed you Grant Cardone right there? You would scroll down and then detailed targeting, you type in who you want to target. So like these are based off of interest, right? So like Grant Cardone would be an interest I want to target. And I'd recommend doing one interest per ad set. But like if you wanted to get a little bit and like understand a little bit more, you could come in here and you could find some other ones that you want to target. So let's say I didn't want to target Grant Cardone. And let's say I wanted to target Kylie Jenner. Oh, it's Kyle. Kylie Cosmetics or Kylie Jenner, right? Like you'd pick one of these. But see, here's the thing. You see interests and you see employees. I always like to do interests because when you do employees, see how the size is smaller? There's only 8,000. Interests, there's 47 million. So that means there's a lot more opportunity inside there. And as you keep going through here, always make sure that this is unchecked. But you'll see right here that there are 5,100,000 people that you're going to be targeting. Now, here's the next step that you have to go through is manual placements, which it should automatically update by itself. But you'll see on here, depending on, again, if you go this route and you just do messaging only and you click Instagram, it should automatically populate. But if you only wanted to do stories, you would just uncheck everything else. So you're only doing stories right there, right? So for this sake, we're going to do Instagram feed and we're going to do Instagram Explorer. And it gives you examples. So that's what Instagram feed looks like. That's what Instagram Explorer looks like. And then naturally, that's what Instagram stories look like. Now, as you keep going down, you're going to come down. You don't have to worry about any of that. You're going to click next. And then from here, your ad name. So whatever your ad name is, ad name 1, you're going to enter that here. And this is really where you just upload it. So let's say, for example, we went over on Canva and created a design really quickly. So really quickly, let's just create a Instagram design just for the, so go Instagram. And we're just going to do a Instagram post. That way it'll work as a story and everything else. But again, if you're just doing story, it's perfectly fine. Just make sure you're only targeting story. Right? So like, let's just say, this is the ad. That's actually a video ad. I don't want to, whatever, that's fine. So see how it's like, some of these are actually videos. But point being, it's going to download. We'll give it a second, and what we're going to do is actually upload it right here. You'll be able to see some of the other ads. So this is actually a little tip for you. This is one of my best performing Instagram ads. Free ebook, swipe up. So I'll show you this real quick so you guys can see it. And it was just like it's just a video of me like pointing up. But point being is you can download, you can upload any of your videos on here. So let's say, for example, that video that we downloaded a second ago, it's still downloading. Okay, cool. There it is. Drag that down here. And we'll see if we can find it real quick. Right here. Click upload. Sometimes it might take a minute or so. And all you want to do is make sure that it actually populates right here. There we go. So that would be like the ad that would run. Again, you want to put some more time and effort and energy into this, but you could also add text. So like, want to learn to, and then what happens with that text is that would actually show up on the actual Instagram feed. On the story, it'll show up like right down there. If you're only doing a story, you don't really need text, to be honest with you. And then call to action, you'd want it to be send message, so they send you a message. And messaging template, it says right here, choose a template for beginning the chat after people tap on your ad. And this is a newer feature, to be honest with you, but you could just come in here and hit create. And what's going to happen is they'll have some templates in here. You know, you could really just use one of these. Whatever your business, whatever your ad is, like if you're running an ad for someone to work with you, be like, can I learn more about your business? And then you could save the template as like template 1. It doesn't matter, but that's how it's going to look right there. When someone clicks on your ad, they'll have that, and like they'll send you that. And then this right here is like what you'd want to say. So see, like you just want to look at all this. So it says like send me a message. Whatever it is, right? And then you could have that there. And honestly, what I would do is just get rid of that. And then right here, say message me keyword, whatever it is, to hear more about what I do. Something like that, right? And then they can just message you the word right there, save and finish. And then just like that, you can just hit publish, and then your ad will run. And the way that it's going to be set up is you'll have your campaign, which is the IG demo message campaign that you created. Then you'll have your ad sets, which is right here. Again, whatever you use. So you want to do Grant Cardone, you'd have that there. And then ads would be right here. This is how you would actually have your image of what you used. And if you ever wanted to change the image, there's a little bit more of a process in place. I recommend duplicating it and then switching it out. But for the sake of this video, we're just going to show you how to set up one basic messaging campaign through Instagram ads. Now, that's pretty much how it's all going to be set up. And what you'll want to do when you're coming through here is understand your cost per result, which should be populated right there. A way that you can do that is come in here and see like performance, whatever they have for you, but they'll have like your result. That's what you really want to look at if you're looking at the basics. I like to go in a little bit more detail and get pretty particular on my own setup. So I have result, cost per result, leads, depending on what you're doing, right? So that's how you set up a basic Instagram ad, so someone that can send you a message. Now, if you wanted to set up another ad where they could come in here, and I'll just walk you through this as well real quick, because there's a lot of ways you can go about this, is if you wanted to send one where you're going to be sending them to a URL. So like that page I sent you, you could have conversions, and it would be the same thing. Everything's very identical. There's just a couple little things you have to switch. Is, again, you want to name it, add one. And then you come down here, campaign budget optimization, whatever you wanted your campaign to be. Again, $20, whatever. And then this is where it's a little bit different. Depending on how you have this set up, if you have a pixel installed, you would drive the traffic, you would have the pixel. And if you need more information on a pixel, because it might be a little bit more advanced depending on how far you are in this, then just let me know it on the comments. I'd be happy to explain that. But you would select your pixel, and then you would go to, you don't need to use dynamic creative. I like using dynamic creative. I can explain that in another video as well. But what you would do is come down here, set this up the same way. Your targeting, your detailed interest. So again, if you wanted to do Grant Cardone, you put them there. You'd have your Facebook page, Instagram account. You'd add your media, literally like the same thing that we just did. And then if you wanted to add text on here, like a primary headline, whatever it is, but you'll see the one thing from conversions that's a little bit different that I didn't show yet. I'll come back to this in a second. I'm just going to go right back here. And then inside conversions, you'll see that you have automatic placements or manual. If you're going to be doing only Instagram, since that's what the theme of this video, you're going to want to uncheck everything except Instagram. So that way when you scroll down here, you'll see Instagram stories checked. You'll see, where is that? Instagram Explorer you'd want to check, and Instagram feed you'd want to check. So you have a feed, story, and if you have a reel, if you're doing a reel, you can check that too. I'm not running a reel right now, but just know like that's how you get particular on just checking Instagram. The next part is going back to what we were doing again. I just clicked down here on the actual ad. You would come down here and basically just set it up. You'd add your website URL here. So, for example, one of my websites is called prospectingninjas.com. Wherever you want to send them, you would send them here. And you could even preview it just to make sure that it works the right way. And then going back here, it's pretty simple from there. This is a little bit more complex depending on where you're running your ad, but then you would just click publish. Now, if you're running your ad just to a landing page and you don't care about the targeting, you just want the most basic result of just driving your traffic to a page, maybe it's like a form to fill out to work with you, this is what you would want to do. So I'm just going to delete this and show you. And I'll also show you the lead forms in a second, but let's just say, for example, you wanted to just drive traffic to a form to have someone fill out to work with you, and you didn't want to figure out all the back-end tracking or anything like that. What you could do is go into a traffic campaign, continue, and then again, you would name it whatever you want to name, campaign here, and then you would scroll down. I like to do campaign budget optimization. However much money you want to spend, you'd put it right there. And then new traffic ad set, or my bad, the ad campaign, again, you would name it here. So ad set number 1, and you'd put whatever you want to target right there just to stay organized. But here's where you really have a couple different options. How we were talking about before, you could just have people send you a message. That's one way to do it. If you wanted to send them actually to your website, again, if you're just sending them to like a form to fill out, this is what you'd want to do is website, and then you just scroll down. I would just have it start right away. If you wanted to have an end date, you could put the end date right here. And then you would have your custom audience, or not custom audience, my bad. You would just scroll down and upload this like everything else. So if you wanted to target, United Kingdom or wherever it is that you wanted to target, right there. For example, if you want to put Australia, you could put that there as well. Age, you would edit that. Genders, you could edit that. And then detailed targeting, again, if you wanted to target someone like Kylie Cosmetics or Kylie Jenner, you could do that right there. And then here's what you need to do if you're wanting to just do this on Instagram. Make sure you click manual placements and then uncheck everything except Instagram. And then just double check. So Instagram feed, Instagram Explorer, Instagram shop. Probably don't really need that. I never use it. And then Instagram stories and Instagram reels. Those are really the ones that you need going. If you only are promoting a story, again, you wouldn't want to check Explorer or feed. You would just want story. And then from there, you'd click next. And then you'd want to make sure your Facebook page, your Instagram account is selected. if you are doing this from your own, you would just click connect account and then you'd follow directions again, or you could just do this, but that's the easiest way to do it. You have to have a Facebook page set up to do this, which if you don't know how to set up a Facebook page, just Google how to create a Facebook page. It's pretty simple. And honestly, it takes 5 seconds to do. And then again, if you wanted to come in here and add a video, I'll give you an example of one of my story ads. Do original, hit done, and you can see the preview over here. Now, this is what you'd want to add your URL. So wherever you're sending traffic, again, for me, www.prospectingninjas.com. Just say that's for the sake of this video. And you always want to preview it to make sure it goes through. And then I like learn more. And this is an example of an ad that's worked really well for me. You can see out here in the beautiful Miami, getting a haircut, life is good. But that's pretty much it from there. Again, then you just click publish. So if you wanted to drive traffic just to a page and didn't want to care about like the tracking, the simplest way, this would be it. Now, this is going to be, the next one I'm going to share with you is actually how to generate leads. And this might be a little bit more advanced, but if you are running a digital marketing agency, then this is going to be perfect for you to get your clients results, and then also to get clients. So the way I would like to set this up is a lead generation campaign. And Facebook's even came out and said that they reward people for driving traffic to lead gen rather than conversions, just because they like keeping people on their platform. Now, obviously, if your ad's good and your offer's good, it doesn't really matter, but lead generation is pretty simple to do. I actually have a full video on how to set up a lead gen ad that you can check out on my YouTube channel. But again, same concept. You're going to name it there. Campaign budget optimization. And then you're going to go instant forms if that's what you wanted to do. That's what I always like to do. You could do automated chat. You could do calls if you wanted, but I like instant forms. It's going to ask you to accept the terms for the page. I'm not going to cover dynamic creative right now because I can cover that in another video on how we actually do this. In fact, I cover that in the free ebook, which there's a link down below to get it, on how we had set up our campaigns. But then same concept here. Who you're going to target, and then again, manual placements. If you only wanted Instagram, you would check these off and then just go to make sure it's only on Instagram. Pretty self-explanatory. And then down here, the only difference, everything else would be pretty much the same, except, so you add that, you add your text. And whenever you don't know, I suggest just typing it up and then looking over here to see where it populates. And so see how it's like right there. You could do, I always like to do learn more. But this is what's going to be a little bit different. This is how you get leads off Instagram, is you create lead forms. So lead form IG1, more volume, higher intent, depending on what you want to do. If you're a beginner, start with more volume. If you're a little bit more advanced, go higher intent. And then I always try to get rid of the intro. Let's see if it'll let me do it. Remove greeting. I think a greeting is just a little bit, you'll end up paying more. And if you want just the best basic results, this is what you need to do. So remove greeting. Questions, I always like to put full name up front, email, and then you always want to collect phone numbers. So basic full name, email, phone number. If you've ever seen one of these, that's what it looks like. Privacy policy, I would suggest creating a privacy policy. You can just go on Google and say template a privacy policy and then put it in here. And then right here, whatever you want them to do after they fill out their information. Like, cool, you're all set. Someone on our team will reach out to you shortly. Whatever it is, right? And then you can actually have, or you can say, or click the link below to speak with our team. And then you just put the link right here, www.prospectingninjas.com, whatever it is that you want to put there, and then you click publish. And then what will happen is it'll save right here, and you just check it, and then you can click publish. And that is how you create a lead form. And more importantly, that's how you create Instagram ads using the different features that you can use on here. So I know we covered a lot. There's a lot of different ways. I'm not going to cover video views on here. The last thing I did want to show you is actually how to find ads that are already working. Basically what we call in our program, my program is called High Ticket Freedom, and we teach our students how to run digital marketing agencies. And one of the things we teach is how to spy on competitors. So for example, if you were looking to run ads and you wanted to learn how someone else did, you could go to all ads and say you were doing your research, you found out that you need to run chiropractic ads. You could type in like the name here and you could see what type of ads they're doing. Now, just because someone's running ads does not mean it's successful, right? But this is how you can find out that your competition or whoever it is running ads. One thing you want to look at is when they were launched. Since this was launched in May, that's been a couple months, March, December. This ad's been running since December 2020. It's probably because the ad's working pretty well. So that's what I like to look at. Again, if you're trying to just, get a little bit broad with it, you could type in roofing and just see what pops up. Sometimes they pop up, sometimes they don't, but this is a good way to figure out what type of ads are working in your industry. So I know we covered a lot on this video. I hope you found value in this, and if you did, make sure to hit that like button down below and hit subscribe. We're constantly producing videos like this every Monday and Thursday. So with that being said, I'll see you in the next one.